Oh, I have no. Hello, and welcome to Healing Space with Gently Healing. I'm Jen Tilley, and I am super grateful to be with all of you guys today. We actually have a special guest with us this afternoon, and that's going to be Jasmine, and she's sitting in the back, waiting to be pulled in, and so. I am going to get her pulled up here on the screen with us and welcome her to the show. Hello, Jacob. Meow. Right back to you. I have a little kitty. Whoa, where's it? Right here. Hello, Jasmine. Can you hear me? We perhaps you're muted still. Still can't hear you.
She has a new headset on.
Oh, you have a new headset
I
on.
think her headset is hooked up.
Is your headset hooked up to your iPad? Can you hear me?
Tell her just to go back to her earbuds.
Go back to your earbuds. Oop, okay. Well, oh,
Hold on.
oh, there we go. There we go. Hi, Jasmine.
Hi, hold on. I'm gonna switch.
Okay. All right. I will say hello to Willow as well. It's nice to see you too. And have everyone else that is in the stream right now. Hello and welcome. I'm oh, and hello, Sierra. Yay. Hello. You're back here today. I love you. Yay. Yay.
Can you
Okay.
hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, I
this
can hear
one's
you.
better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, so weird seeing my face.
Yeah. I like seeing your face. It's so pretty. So cool to have you here and on the show. So far, we have people saying hello to you, which we have Jacob in here, and Willow, and Sierra, and Robert is here. Hello, Robert. Thank you so
Oh,
much for the beautiful music you put together for us. That was, I love that start.
I, am I able to see like my screen and the chat? No.
I don't know. There should be something where you're able to see the chat, I think. If not, I can keep pulling up the chat on the
I
bottom of
I
the screen.
I can see it, but then it blocks out the whole screen. But I can. I think you guys can still see me.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I'll keep you updated on the comments, and so you don't need to so much worry about the comments today. I'll be the comment holder for us. What?
Make sure not to leave them up on the screen more than necessary because they're blocking the spaces.
Say that again.
Make sure not to leave the comments on the
Oh,
screen more than
oh,
necessary.
more
Oh,
than necessary. There we go. Okay, so we're just figuring this out. This is wonderful. Thank you guys.
I'm trying to figure out my camera. It's at a weird angle.
Oh,
I made a makeshift table.
oh, okay. Well, I think your face looks very beautiful, Jasmine, and
Thank you.
I can see you well. We can see you well,
Okay.
and yeah,
Well,
and I'll
hi everyone. I'm a little shy right now, nervous.
yeah, yeah. It's a journey. There's anxiety and excitement can feel very much the same, and I think there's a lot of excitement just to have you in this space, and we love you very much, and we've had a great opportunity to kind of get to know you through the chat. Jasmine and I met on Erin and Zach's show, The Expanded Understanding. And we just started to talk past that and had an opportunity to kind of have some healing sessions with one another. And I'm excited to have her here and be able to share about her journey and where she's at today and what that's looked like and what she's discovering about herself. I think it's so rad to be able to put a face to the people that are so part of our family that are in the comments over here, and it is really cool. It is cool. Did
Yeah.
you figure out your screen? Hello,
I
Joey.
I can see the chat. I I think I'm just gonna leave it as it is. Uh, if
Okay.
you see me fine, then I think I'll
Yeah.
leave it that way.
Okay.
I might be at an angle, but
Yeah. No,
I
it's
think it's the I think it's just my iPad. I
yeah.
don't know.
If you want to twist it just a hair to I don't know which way. So you're more centered or you're
I keep
there we go. There
there
we
we
go.
go.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's perfect. There you go. Now you're centered. I like it.
So I'm having a hard time like which way do I look?
Oh, you know what? You look beautiful.
No,
And
like if I look at you,
oh,
if I look at myself, I it looks weird to me. Like
yeah.
I'm not
So,
looking directly at the camera.
so the way I've just put my eyes is I'll either look at the camera itself, and I don't know if it appears like I'm looking at you. I'm not sure on that. So if I look there, but I'll also look down where you are on the screen because I like to see your face. So I'll do both.
I'm gonna look at you, so it's like I'm talking to you, but because I don't know what.
Yeah.
Okay, there's the camera. I'm looking at the wrong side.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. That's good. Now it looks like you're looking at us. I like that. I
Okay,
like
okay.
that. That's good. So awesome. Well, I want to say thank you so much for coming and navigating your own jitters and aspects to even like put yourself out there. Like this is just so awesome and so honorable. And you know we're here doing the deal. Trying to raise our own consciousness and connect with the highest versions of ourselves that we are now, and love ourselves within this space. So currently in our chat, Jasmine, as I was saying, we have Jacob here and Robert and Sierra and Willow and Joey is here and Lucinda. They're all saying hello. And Jasmine says, you know, we are here to support you. And so you're in a good spot. It's okay. Just relax and be yourself. We love you here. Thank you, Jacob. What
Yeah.
kind, awesome words. Joey's saying hi, Jasmine. So
Hi, Joey,
yeah, so we're
and Jacob, and Willow, and Robert, and Sierra, and anyone that I missed.
no, that's awesome, awesome. So before the show, Jasmine and I had an opportunity to kind of chat and see. She reached out to me a few days ago saying that she was kind of ready to come on the show and to talk. And so I've invited her here into this space, and we're going to just kind of noetically navigate in sharing kind of what her journey is. Some of the aspects that we touched on today is, you know, when we have these past traumas where we're victims, if you will, we end up identifying with the victim space, leads us into this pendulum swing of the victim victimizer. And until we actually take a look at it and stop it, it's a very interesting to look closely at how the cycles play out in our lives today, even though the things that had happened in the past are no longer happening today. So so Jasmine, let's just kind of like start out and can you tell us like a little bit about yourself and where you're from and about your cute son Christopher, because he's adorable and a genius and very special kid. Yeah.
He's actually having a meltdown right now, and I'm trying to like tune out the crying
Yeah.
because you know his dad has this right now. It's dad's
Yes.
time.
Yes.
I'm fine. Uh, I'm a mom, and I live in South Texas. It's Harlingen, Texas. It's pretty very tip of Texas area. I've been here, I want to say, since 2006, but I was born and raised in California, so that's uh, that's where I've been. I guess mostly my whole life I've been in this area. I think I grew more up here than I did over there, so I resonate more with this culture here.
In Texas.
Yeah,
Cool.
and I don't know. I guess if anyone has questions, what they want to know more specific.
Sure.
I was raised a Jehovah's Witness my whole life, and I stopped going like 5 years ago, and it's just been that's where my journey started. Oh, my garden.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. So you got a question.
uh,
Can you tell us about your garden, Jasmine?
it's under attack right now. There's some caterpillars eating all my potato
Oh,
plant, and I kind of just left them there. I don't know if that's a good thing because they might eat the other plants, but right now I started growing red potatoes, zucchini, uh, garlic, onion. I planted like so many different things, and pretty much only like five things grew, and some tomatoes, and and I think that's kind of like where me and my husband have been bonding right now. Like our backyard, like he's all about the grass, and right now he's like, I'm a grass expert, and I know every kind of grass there is, and my grass, like he's just like taking care of the grass right now, like a baby, and um I'm new at gardening. I don't know a lot about it. I just planted stuff and see if
yeah.
it grew, and it did.
What led you into wanting to do a gardening, and how long ago did you make that decision? So how long's the process been of you attempting to be a gardener?
Um, it's something I've always liked doing. Hi, Tiffany. Uh, it's something I've always liked doing, but I never did it on my own. When I lived with my grandparents, we had like 3 acres of land, and I remember like coming here in the summers, and we would like grow, like I think one point we grew cucumber, watermelons, like everything you could think of. My grandpa had like a whole row of just like vegetables, and we would pick them, and we've always had like something growing in our backyard, and so I just think it's something I just enjoyed, and I wanted to incorporate that here into my space. And
Awesome.
it's fun to watch something grow, and you
Yeah.
see like a little sprout, and the next thing you know, it's like a bunch of big leaves.
Hmm.
So I think it's just, if you can take care of a plant, you can take care of yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Like gardening and getting your hands within the soil and then actually nourishing something from seed to the growth is really like it literally transliteralizes into our lives, and that's exactly kind of what you're doing with yourself today and now.
and
Um,
and and then you like it, I guess when you said tell us when it started in February, when all this other stuff started too, when I started watching the shows and looking at myself more. So it's interesting that Willow brought that up, and it's something I didn't even think was related to it, but it is.
Oh, yes. Yes. So, if I'm to understand this right, was it just then this season that you started your own garden for the first time?
Yes.
Okay. So, when was that in like March or in when did you start? Because spring, I'm trying to
I
correlate.
started February. I had
Okay.
planted so many things. I was like kind of like disappointed it didn't grow, and
Yeah.
I had planted like blueberries, like all the like different plants that are like medicinal and stuff. Like I think I planted hawthorn and elderberry and ginger, and none of that grew. And all I have is garlic, onions, and zucchini, and tomatoes, and potatoes. So it's like,
Oh, interesting. It would be interesting to look up like what the like historical meanings of those different plants, like what the medicines are and what they bring and what was
I
chosen to grow within your garden.
I feel like the only one I can think of that I know something about is like tomatoes have something to do with your heart and your stomach.
Hmm.
But, and I guess, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And then also, I think of the color red as also very rooted plant, and is,
Rooting. I
yeah.
planted red potatoes, but
Good, good. So, Jasmine, had like so with the garden itself, was the decision like because there's some things that happened in February. One, I know that the whole quarantine ended up happening, and then
mhm.
also I think you shared with me that your sister had moved out as well, and I was wondering if any of those kind of had like presented a moment for you to go and garden.
I needed to just distract myself. I think I don't know how everyone else felt about the whole, coronavirus thing. For some reason, I totally flipped out with it, and so did, I guess, everyone in my family. My sister, she left to go stay with my grandparents, and they quarantined, and then I quarantined over here by myself, and had this fear, and I was throwing up so much, like so much, and it was just fear and all of it, and I don't know if it was related to that, but it's just like that started me throwing up like every day, and that, remember I told you in the beginning when we first talked that I had that pain in my stomach, and that I lost like 20 pounds. It was just pure throwing up. Every morning I'd wake up and I'd throw up, and I
Yeah.
just needed to do something. And then I started, actually went into like that scarcity, like, oh, like we're gonna run out of food, and I need to learn to garden, and and that's what led me to the garden, really.
Wow.
And
Wow.
and
Wow. That
then all that kind of just settled, and I'm like, well, I'm enjoying this for me. Like, if we run out of food, like we're not gonna run out of food.
yeah.
Like, something, we'll always have something, and kind of just got,
Question. Uh the first garden you planted, it sounded like there was a lot of fear in the decision making of kind of planting that garden. Like I need to like have the food. And then you went to I like doing this and I'm going to do it for these reasons. Is there any correlation in there like to like the transition between the two states, if you will, from fear to then the enjoyment and the wanting to do it? And like the garden now is growing, right?
mhm.
As opposed to that first bit that wasn't growing. So I'm trying to do some digging to see if how the garden took based off of that.
When I just kind of left it alone and I didn't like force things to grow, it just grew.
Yeah. Oh,
Kind of like myself, I just kind of like didn't allow that fear back in, and I just allowed it to pass through, and I kind of just like, oh, well, I'm not really scared anymore. Like, I can see, like, the world's heading in a different place. Like, the world is not over yet. Basically, my
yeah.
world's not over yet. I can live how I choose to live.
Yes. Yes. Oh, that is very, very awesome. Very awesome. You have some comments here, and Patty, she said, "Hi, Jasmine. So cool to see you here live. Thank you for sharing a part of your life." And then Tiffany said, I love it, a new beginning. And that's exactly, I agree, Tiffany. Like when you are riddled in fear and then you're making a decision to start anew and do it different and, going into the gardening and become self sustaining and buying into yourself and your ability to be able to do that is a very awakening process to the turmoil that could be going on within. And not awakening in the sense of awakening of the higher self inside there saying no, I can ignite this power here. And so in agreement Patty was, and stressors cause that. I don't remember what that was in correlation at that moment, but and
Sorry,
now
I yawned.
that's okay. It's also purging. Purging will happen. And now you have your own garden, your own creation. Isn't that really rad? I would agree,
Yeah.
Patty. Like you literally created that. And then now you can see all the beauty you bravely created and knew you'd be okay. Exactly.
Hmm.
That's really really awesome. So, how much time do you take on a daily basis now to like nurture your garden?
Mm, I just do it intuitively. I'm like, well, I haven't gone in a while, so I should go check on it, and then I'll clean it up, and everything's fine. And except for that, I think a couple days ago when I didn't know I had caterpillars and all my leaves on the potato were gone,
Oh man. Ma-
and I sprayed it with something like I made my own insecticidal soap,
yeah.
and and I don't know if it's really worked.
Yeah. Uh, well, we did that meditation on the caterpillars. You know, there's a lot of medicine within the caterpillar. You know, where it's starting that process of that metamorphosis. You know, like where it's that beginning journey before they actually metamorphosize, and you know, planting your garden and watching it grow is, you know, I don't know if you've gotten any potatoes yet from it. Have you grown?
Mm, not no, the potatoes. I'm not sure I'm gonna like hold high expectations for them.
Sure, sure.
Um, Everything else, I think I read up it takes about like the garlic takes like 9 months to grow, and the onions I think take a while too, and then the tomatoes are starting to like get bigger. There's no
Mm-hmm.
tomatoes yet; they're just flowering, and then the zucchini actually started growing like a tiny one. Like it's getting flowers, and I saw like maybe like I don't know like this big, like a little baby zucchini. So that was exciting.
That is awesome. How fun is that? How fun. Uh, I just pulled up the caterpillar medicine, and I'm trying to get that posted. So Patty said, if you want, Jasmine, you could share pictures of your garden on the Fearless family. I'd love to see what you
I
created.
I have it. If I don't know if Zach's on there and he can pull it up from the group chat, but that's kind of a while back, right? If
Oh, oh yeah. I would need to go and open like Messenger and do that. I don't.
I can try
Yeah.
it, like I have my phone right here. Maybe I
Okay.
can do it while we're talking.
Okay. That is awesome. Uh, Patty also had said stressors cause the stomach issues. I've got the same thing, Jasmine.
Yeah. Well, I think I've kind of overcome that. That's. I think I shared this. Maybe you shared this. The owl thing that happened when I told you those pains I was getting
Yeah.
before the very first time. When that owl thing happened, like the pain was exactly the same as when I had first started, but only like intense, like times 10. So I felt like that pain finally just came out. Before I even like talked to you, I thought I had kidney stones
Oh, wow. Yeah.
or
Yeah.
like gallstones, something. It
Something
felt
in
like
there.
something was in there.
Yeah.
And
So interesting. I like for those of you that don't know, we did a meditation and we brought in the owl. And while we were like talking about the owls before we did the initial meditation, Jasmine had shared with us a story about her brother and how her brother could like had an owl that he could just summon in he would come. I would love for you to tell this story about your brother and his relationship, if you could share that, and then because what then transpired with this meditation and what she was saying in the comments was really that process of letting go, and so I would love it if you could actually, with your words, share that story for everyone
sorry,
here.
I was sending that. If anyone is able to get on Facebook, I sent those pictures to the Fearless
Cool.
and the caterpillar eating the potato.
Oh, cool.
And so the owl thing, actually talked to my brother yesterday. Messaged him, and he's telling me that he actually has three owls now that are perched there where he's at with my parents. So the he had this little tiny owl that he would say was like a mini owl that he would just like whistle and it would just pop up and like wherever he was at. If he was sitting outside, like he could whistle and it would come up and just hang out with him. And so he had that. Even before even that experience, he had just like a tattoo of an owl, and he's always just resonated with owls. And so when he moved from Texas, he moved back to LA. When he left that last time, I was driving down the road back to my grandma's house, and I saw like a little baby owl like dead in the middle of the street. And so I like he said he felt it, like it had died, and I had told him about it, and he's like, yeah, I kind of, I don't feel connected to it right now. And so he kind of knew that it was dead too. We used to have like really close relationship where like I would just be like in my feelings, and I wouldn't feel like I didn't reach out to anyone, and all of a sudden I get a phone call, like my brother would just answer and say, are you okay? Or what's wrong with you? And like I would do the same thing, I could feel the same thing with him, and it was usually when we were like in the middle of a breakdown or something was wrong, and we had that connection. And I think after that owl thing experience, we didn't have it as strong, and that's kind of, I think after that I started also like kind of going back on my own journey of finding who I was. And in that time too, I think I was also like finally like realizing like I didn't believe what I believed before. And then kind of just slowly I went into, I met my husband and we had a baby, and that was kind of the end of that, like now. But my son actually has owl totem, and so does my brother. And then they click a lot. He feels connected to him a lot.
Sure.
So
Very
it's
interesting.
interesting that the owl's there.
And what's interesting is the correlation too, because at the point your brother left, right, there was some kind of finality, not finality, but kind of an end of some sort to the way your relationship had been. Is that you had shared something about your relationship with your brother, and then
Um, yeah, we kind of just weren't as close as we used to be. Because like he started just doing his own thing, and so did I. I didn't rely on him as much to vent on, and same with him. Like we vented basically to ourselves now, and we were trying to manage our own feelings instead of just pouring it on each other all the time.
yeah, it was, yeah, it's almost like the venting and that part of it, like is like a death to that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And what I guess I'm getting to with the like questions and talking
Mm-hmm.
about the owl is that like I felt like when we had the owl meditation and you had shared the things you had, and then like saw the situation different, that the owl had come and the medicine had completed its cycle, and it's like the birth and the experience and the life of the owl, and then that relationship transitioned and changed, and that connection kind of ended. But
Mm-hmm.
you in the chat seem to have found some kind of resolve with that, and then what seemed to happen
Yeah,
after
because
that was you then had the major purge and the things that came after.
I think that the three of us, me, my brother, my sister, we carried so much of that family trauma passed down from like, our parents and our grandparents, and even through aunts and uncles, that, everyone just tended to like release with us a lot. And, nobody ever really showed up for us. And so we were always showing up for each other. And I think that it just came to the point where we needed to learn to do that for ourselves and let go of all that. And I even shared, I think, with you that the day after all the owl stuff, that an uncle reached out to me. This is the annoying uncle, the one that comes and and shows up out of nowhere just to see what we have. Literally, like, would go to my grandma's house unannounced and see, like, like, oh, they have like this in their house and they have this in their house, and oh, new car, or like, money, 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 money. And and just, I always felt obligated to be nice to them and to still treat them like family, but they never had that respect for us, and they would just invade our space literally unannounced. and and so I had a missed call from him the next day, and I didn't even know like why or what it was about, but I just didn't allow it to happen. I just ignored it and I blocked him. I had already blocked him from Facebook, so it could have been him calling me saying like, "Hey, why'd you block me on
Sure,
Facebook?"
sure,
And I was
sure.
like, "I don't want to deal with this." The last interaction we had, I was so uncomfortable with him, and he was drunk, and he just made me feel so uncomfortable. And he showed up to a party that wasn't even invited to, and it's just like, I don't know. It's like those, you can't get rid of something and you want to get rid of it,
Yeah.
and it just keeps coming back. And so I don't know. I don't I don't know how else to explain it. But yeah, it was interesting that the owl came up, and then that happened right after, and I talked about that. So in my comments, like, maybe I didn't like tell you guys all that, but I did have that intention, like, that specific side of my family that I didn't want anymore. And that
So
uncle was in my mind too.
So you set your boundaries within your mind, and then you like we end up like purging. Like when they say just let it go, like I don't think that we were ever taught really like what that meant. And it wasn't until I worked with the Shipibo tribe in the jungles that I learned about purging and the purgative medicines, or that our bodies, like when we're throwing up or we're having digestive issues, coming out the other ways. All of this is our body's way of actually letting go of these things that had once mattered, and we're getting rid of that matter. And so it isn't surprising when we do this work that we could then all of a sudden feel like we're going to throw up, or we're going to go and need to shit, or do something, and it's really just purging that out. And when you stand strong into saying, here is my boundary, and then you set it, you blocked your uncle, you then set it where you didn't answer the phone, which you weren't obligated to do, and you had that within your mind when you were also speaking, so that was all very much involved there. I think that there was also a bit, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but some aspect, like it's not easy when you find like an animal that's dead, especially when there was such a relationship with it. And so there was also maybe some trauma with that, and that was like the medicine was finally came full circle to bring about the healing, like the answer to what that was within this space. And then there was also you taking your power back, because there was a point too where when we have these things inside of us where you're like, oh man, I can feel the owl like in there. And then you reached out to people on the Fearless family, and Kala had shared with you about like going and opening your windows and getting that energy moving. So you took like the you went and externally, in your external reality, went and took control of that, and you were able to purge and get that out of you. And you were also taking your power back on all so many different fronts. I think is just so rad. And what I love about this story is like, this is what animal medicine kind of looks like. When you honor the medicine, it's coming here to teach you something. And sometimes we'll have things in our past, like that maybe we were getting a message from the animals before that finally is coming out today. There's no separation between past and future to being right now. And it's in that kind of space, like here doing the meditation, sharing what you are here, that allows that to kind of come full circle in this present time. I think that's really cool, Jasmine.
Thank you.
Yeah. There's
I,
a. Go ahead.
no.
Oh,
Uh,
I was going to say, I want to read a few of the comments here. It was, we call all, send some positive vibes and healthy growing vibes to your garden. So I like that. Patty said. So
Thank you,
we're
Patty.
sending all the positive vibes. I put the caterpillar medicine because of all the caterpillar totem. It will cover your face. I'm just going to read this
It's
because of
okay. Go
all
ahead.
the cat. Oh, here. Because of all the caterpillar totem traits, it makes a great symbol for protection, timing, longevity, and change. Always remember, although it may seem easy and natural for a caterpillar animal totem to change into a beautiful butterfly, it takes time and patience. And that I think is just so true, even for the gardening process. It takes
Mm-hmm.
time and patience to nurture our garden and get our gardens to grow. And it's a great symbol for protection. And we've talked about protections, and setting them up inside of there. Um, Longevity and change is upon you for sure. So, yeah,
Sorry.
that's okay. And then Willow says, would love to hear updates about your garden's progress. And I think that's when you ended up sending the pictures, wasn't it? We call all send some positive vibes and healthy growing vibes. Oh, gosh, I just read those. Jasmine, have you
um,
gone to a doctor to check for gallstones? Patty's asking. Purging can be a symptom. I did find that I have one small gallstone.
mm, I haven't gone, but I also have this thing where I hate going to the doctor. Maybe
Ah,
everyone does that, but I'm kind of like, well, the doctor doesn't know my body more than me.
yeah,
I feel like it's true. I feel
yeah,
like we're the only ones that know the most about what we feel, and especially when we learn how to manage how we feel. Like, even if you have something that's wrong with you, you can pretty much make it go away. I've done it. I
yeah.
didn't. I didn't see, know, medical doctors for all the things that ailed me. I've always seen like alternative. Like, how can someone teach me how to do it myself?
Yeah. I really love that. Um, I think that's really awesome that you take that power of understanding that you have the ability to heal yourself. And
Um,
yeah,
Unless I'm like bleeding to death, then I need a doctor.
yeah, yeah.
But
I hear that. And yes, thank you for that question, Patty. And it is a process when it comes to doctors. Some people are going to go and seek that advice and get the help that they can provide,
yeah, and
but also we have that power within that we actually do know what is going on. Our intuition can tell us and show us what we need to do to heal that. And most of these are those traumas or those fears, especially when we're hitting into the solar plexus and that stomach area. So yeah,
and
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, then there's nothing wrong if you do feel like you need to see a doctor. Everyone has a different experience, and
yeah, yep,
yeah,
exactly.
just throwing that out there. I'm not saying
Yeah,
don't go to the doctor. Just
yeah,
my personal
yeah, yeah. I totally get that. Totally get that. Uh,
meow.
Meow, Samantha. Hello, welcome, welcome. And then Patty says, "Thanks for the posting the pics. She'll check them out. Everyone will enjoy them. Yes, we will. We will. Thank you for posting those,
Hi, Sammy.
Sammy. Yes, lovely to see you. Sorry I'm a bit late. No, I'm so glad you're here, Sammy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You feel the same about doctors. Yeah, the doctors is an interesting one because even just a couple years ago, I was given like 2 rooms at a doctor's office. Like I didn't when I say given them, meaning like not charge me any kinds of rents to be in this space. They wanted me to come in and be part of the clinic, and I had 2 rooms there and a desk at the like within the doctors, and it seems very prestigious and lucrative, if you will, but it wasn't that way for me. Like I felt different on the fronts when going to the doctors. That I definitely doctors are very. It's an interesting thing. To each their own,
There's
and I
there's
don't
good
say
ones and there's bad ones, and it just
as
depends.
such as everything.
Yeah.
Um, but I've known a lot of very, very fantastic doctors out there that I love and I care about very much. I just find that the mentality of going into the doctor's office is oftentimes putting a lot of externalization and not doing that own personal self digging before that happens. But that's not for everything. There's just there's just a lot of that runs through that space, and the work that I do is specifically on you figuring out how it is to heal yourself, and then finding those answers. So it's interesting. It's an interesting balance, and it was interesting to get an opportunity to work at the doctor's offices to kind of see that. So cool.
Yeah,
So
great.
yeah, yeah. I think I said that Willow felt the same about
Yeah.
doctors. So
And not everyone agrees with that method, but
yeah,
eh, it's
yeah.
mine. I'm the governor.
Yeah, that's right. So Patty says, if I felt not good energies or vibes from a doctor, I've left. Yeah,
Same. Me too.
yeah,
And even when they like charge me a fee, I'm like, I'm not gonna pay it. Sorry.
yeah.
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. Yeah, I like in my past lives. It feels like I've lived many lives in this one lifetime, and there was many times
Yeah.
that I went to the doctors, and there definitely was some not good ones that I found, and the vibes and
Yeah.
leaving and
I've had like a weird like emergency room visit and the doctor didn't I feel like this person violated me like
yeah,
physically like and I was
uh,
just like no like
yeah.
I'm never going back there again.
No, yuck, yucky. Not
Hmm.
fun. That happened. Not fun. I've definitely had some things when I was before I got my diagnosis for endometriosis. I ended up in the ER because I was like coming out both ends and in agonizing pain, not knowing what was wrong with me. And my boss had driven me to the hospital, so she was with me in the space. And then the doctor didn't really run many tests, and then when he was there to like check me out without really any answers. He just opens the door, looks at the chart, and he goes, "Oh yeah, I think you probably have a 99% chance of having chlamydia." It was his problem, and he says it's like right in front of my boss, and I'm like, "What?" And so then I go to my boyfriend at the time, like, I can't even believe this is happening, and it wasn't true at all. I just had
No.
endometriosis, which is such a common thing
And
for women to have.
yeah,
So it
and
was like,
I
it's
got
funny.
diagnosed at the ER with something that I don't know. I didn't even have it. In
Yeah,
other words, I went to my
yeah,
gynecologist because I was like concerned,
yeah,
and she's like, "There's nothing wrong with you. Like you
yeah,
don't like. There's nothing wrong with you. Why
yeah.
did they give you all? They gave me so many antibiotics. I had to stop breastfeeding,
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
and and I don't know. I mean, I was ready to stop, but at the same time, like not because I was on antibiotics
Yeah.
for an infection I didn't have.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So I
yeah,
get leading you to today where you're like, yeah, I probably didn't go check my gallstones there if there
no.
were any in the body. But I really I have to say that your journey on self healing, you have been a part of this family like since the get go of the show. How did you find out about the show Expanded Understanding? How
That's
did
a
you find
weird
us?
that's a weird one. I mean, weird but cool. I followed so many weird, not weird, I don't want to put the word weird. So many different accounts that I just don't even know how I found them. I did the whole Donald Trump Q thing. I went down that rabbit hole, down the Pizzagate, down the all that, and so for some reason, wow, the sun just got really bright. And
Shining lights.
yeah, and then I was going crazy. That's where all the purging was starting, and I was going like crazy out of my mind with all those things, those stories. And I don't know, somehow I found this account that led me to the, I think I've said this, Claudia.
Hmm.
Okay, there was like that 444 meditation, and I was like, the whole world's gonna do it. And I was like, I gotta be part of this. And so she posted something like that, and someone else shared it. And so then I went to her page, I followed that, I did that meditation, and then she did another, like, I kept following her page, and then she did another meditation, which was the Arcturian one that was on your show with Zach and Aaron. And I was like, these people, like, they're my people.
Yeah.
And I just clicked, and then I just can't stop watching I'm
Cool.
just like, and it got to the point where like I might be a little bit too addicted, and I gotta like kind of like make time for it,
Sure.
for my things, and then for the show too. But
Yeah.
finding that balance,
Yeah.
not getting too attached to one thing.
Sure. Sure. No, that is really rad. I'm very grateful that you found us and into this very healing space, because coming
Hmm.
from where you had been in February to where you are now and doing like that digging, right, where you're like,
Yeah.
something about this doesn't feel right, you end up looking into the conspiracy aspect of things, and then you
Yeah.
start to realize that the real conspiracy is what's going on in front of your face.
Yeah.
So then also not go, yeah, it's an interesting journey when you start to go down those different rabbit holes, and then trying to find, what those answers are, and to lead yourself out of fear, and then taking your own power back. um
Yeah, I
yeah.
was just looking for answers to like the next question, and I was like, well, like nothing was answering anything
Yeah.
until I reached to the point where like I'm the only one that has the answers for myself. Like I'm the only one that's gonna know how I'm gonna react and how I can control my reactions.
That's a pretty big epiphanies on oneself.
Yeah,
That is really awesome. That is really awesome, because that's
it's
very true.
and I feel like it might. I mean, I feel like it's something everyone is going through right now. I'm not the only person having all these epiphanies, and it's awesome that there's a group out there that they're sharing all their epiphanies together, and like we're
Yeah.
putting all the puzzle pieces together.
Yeah.
Um, you know, and me sharing all of this and talking about any of this, like not most of my family would even understand. And even sometimes my husband is like, well, who are you talking to? Or what are you looking at? Or what are you watching? Like, what is that? He looks at it and like, no, that's weird stuff. And I'll just walk away.
Sure.
He's like, oh, you're watching your weird show again.
Yeah.
And
It is interesting when you start to do this, because there's other people in your life that aren't, and there's a lot
yeah.
of awakenings that happen, and vibrations change, and so it's an interesting journey, like,
Hmm.
on other people, because they'll also, like, the one guarantee in life is that like, change. That's the one guarantee that we have, and yet we'll find ourselves sometimes very resistant to that, and that's pretty common, just across the board. And so, just having some care and compassion for those
Yeah.
that are experiencing your own change, but at the same time learning how it is and what it is to set your boundaries and keep following your heart in the next indicated step, no matter what that means. And so, hopefully at some point your husband will come along.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't like stop me. He's like, okay, well, if that's what makes you happy right now, if that's what makes you feel good about yourself, um,
Yeah.
keep doing it.
I love that. I love
So
that. That's
he's
awesome.
very Roman is in Roman's world. That's what I like to say. And
Romance is
yeah, he's like a little bubble. Nothing really stays like phases him that much, and um, but he's not very like a judgmental person. It's gonna like when I told him about the owl thing, I was kind of like afraid he would say something like that's weird, but his reaction was like, well, if that's the only way you can describe that stomach pain, because he asked me like, hey, like, what was wrong with your stomach? You were like crying and all that, and do you feel better like the next day? And I was like, well, there's a bunch of owls inside of me. And I
yeah.
was expecting him to be like, what the heck? And
Sure.
instead he was like, well, if that's what makes you feel better, that's the only way you can describe it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
And
it's it's an energy. It's a energy that has consciousness, and it's really cool that you have somebody in your life that can show you what it is like to not have judgment, to show up as authentically you and be able to speak your truth, no matter how crazy it might sound.
yeah.
I've definitely had moments where, I've had things like dreams of people that are going to die, and like even going to them, and sharing those things, like sharing this stuff, has been a journey in and of itself, because you just don't know how people are going to react to it. But the truth is you speak your truth, and you'll be amazed on how many people are actually receptive to it, and those that aren't, how they just kind of vibrate themselves out. And it was good that they went anyway. Made it much easier for you, and just be malleable with the flow of your life, and
And
that's really cool.
I think I was always afraid of allowing this aspect to come out too, because I felt like, you know, I might lose the people that I love, the ones that can't, vibe, I guess, with me. And it's been the opposite. Like they're coming back. They're holding space for me to still be me.
Yeah. Yeah. See, and that's it. They just want to love you because they love you. They want you to be you. They
Yeah.
want you to be you. And that's you in all your authentic glory, and that's where love is coherence, and acceptance and kind and caring. And I think, yeah, that's pretty rad. Jacob says here, I get the balancing. It feels so good to finally connect to your tribe that you don't want to miss anything, but you still have responsibilities and things you got to do in your immediate
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to remind myself it's okay to miss a show and be
Yeah.
present where you are as things happen.
I was
Exactly.
I was
Go ahead.
not sleeping for a while because I was like, I need to stay up and watch the whole thing. And then I was like, I can watch it another time.
Sure.
I can catch up later. I can catch the next one. But
Yeah.
I also like to be there live.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's different too when you're watching it and you can engage. Because then when I'm watching the replay, I'm like, I wanted to say this and I can't. But
Yeah.
they don't know I'm saying this. They don't know I'm thinking this.
Right. Well, you can write it down in the comments, but not in these kind of
Yeah.
comments. But you can, and we can come back to it later. But I imagine it's very not the same. But yeah, there is that balance, man. We're doing this every single day, and
Yeah.
you'll be here when you can, and being able to know that you want to go do this more, like you want, like you want to go
Mm-hmm.
experience life, you want to get the tools that are necessary for you to show up and be the highest and best version of your life. And sometimes that takes the time that the show is going, and
Yeah.
so, yeah, I mean, good on you, because there was definitely some times that you missed some episodes, and that
Yeah.
is totally fine, and you are
And
loved and missed. And yeah, at the same time, like, it's important for us, and you too, Jacob, like, you're loved and missed when you're not here.
mm-hmm.
But or Patty or Sammy and Willow, like anybody
Everyone.
that, yeah, everyone, you're still in this space, and we still have you here, even if you're not here. But spiritually, man, we're all connected, and sending the love out there, the love blast, while you're going through, life, like when you have family get-togethers and stuff like that, and you're learning to navigate it. So yeah, that's awesome. So I was thinking about how, things that we also talked about,
Yeah.
where like today when we were on the phone,
Mm-hmm.
Jasmine and I were talking about her sister and her relationship that she had with her sister. And I think Jasmine and I have very similar aspects to our stories, where she was raised Jehovah's Witness and I was
Yeah.
raised Mormon. And those two religions, I think I can't
Yeah.
really think of any other religions that are
And
so
I've preached to people that are Mormon and we're like, oh yeah, like connecting, and they're like,
yeah.
yeah, I'll read your book. You read my book, and I was like, I'm not gonna read your book.
Mine's
My
the true religion.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it
funny.
it is funny, and it is an interesting thing within oneself to leave a big religion like that. And so that's one aspect that Jasmine and I definitely connect on, is making the choices and the
Yeah,
kind of rippling consequences that can go out within the family dynamic when you make big choices, or friend dynamics, or relationships around. But yet you did it,
yeah.
and
I
then
have this many Jehovah's Witness friends, uh, and
yeah,
if they are still my friends, they also left. So you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
um,
yeah. I get that actually. I mean, on my Facebook page, I guess there's some,
The
but do
purge.
I? Yeah, totally. That's funny. You're totally right, Jasmine. But do we actually talk? No, not no. Yeah,
Yeah, like people still
yeah,
follow me, and
yeah.
and
Same with
they
AA.
do not say hi. They don't care, or
Well, not
maybe they care, but they don't know that they can care.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
they're stuck in the I can't talk to you because I know, like, you're not married and you have a kid and you were baptized, and like
yeah.
that was always the story I told myself, that, and it doesn't matter to me anymore, but it still matters to them for some reason.
And that's why
Oh,
they're not here. Just
yeah.
like, yeah. Well, I love you right where you are,
Thank you.
and making
I
the
love you too.
decisions to like just choose you, and not choose somebody else's way of what they think is right. You listen to what you feel is right, and that's important. And that's really awesome. Another thing that Jasmine and I like were talking about was like that we related on was our relationships with our sister. And I had one sister in particular because I have four sisters, but one that we're 14 months apart, and so it's like 1 year apart, and we just really had a lot of battle like our whole lives, and Jasmine had like a sister that they kind of had contention within their space, and she left in February to go and stay with her grandparents. But I think the cool part that we had on the phone was looking at the journey of breaking past like the shame and guilt of like how we end up treating certain people that we're closest to. Is there anything you want to share like about your relationship, and then kind of what we talked about the victim, and kind of
Mm.
the kind of self
Um,
discovery on that?
I guess I played the victim, like you said, like pretty much growing up until even recently. I was always the victim and starting the fights and arguing, and it was always over something dumb, like who didn't put this in the fridge the right way, who left dishes in the sink again, and I don't know. And it would be a lot of reflection on my end and taking it out on them, and even on my brother. Like, we had some terrible fights. I had terrible fights with them. I've pulled a knife on my brother. That's how, and that was me at like 11. And so you can see that, like, there was so much going on there, and and they were always kind. They would just, with their words, remind me, like, hey, like, it's not us, it's you. And I would always be like, nope, it's not me, it's you. the
Sure.
whole time, the whole time, even now, like, I'm like, I didn't want to take full accountability um, for any of the fights. I wanted it so badly to also be them, to
Right.
also be my
You didn't want
sister.
to.
Yeah, to be my sister, to be my brother. And yes, they have their issues and their things that they need to work on, but they're aware of that.
Yeah.
And they're doing their thing. I'm the one that needs to work on me. That
And you
that
have been.
Yeah, and I have been, and
Yeah.
forgot, I lost my train of thought here. What was I gonna say? I've been working on taking accountability and realizing that I'm the only one making myself a victim to these fights, and just I need to be kinder to myself so I could be kinder to them. And that's where I've always wanted to be, and where I know that I am, but it never could come out.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to bring that out. And I think I've got a better grasp on that now. And it took being separated and to look at myself only, not see, the mirrors around me and deflect,
Yeah.
instead of, actually just taking the time to look at myself in the mirror. Not like literally, but maybe sometimes literally I actually do that and look at myself and think about it. And, but yeah, it's just like I got to look at the mirror and all I saw was me. And I realized, like, it's always been me. like you said
Yeah.
earlier, or we talked about.
Yeah. There you
And
go.
yeah,
Keep your power.
releasing that, and yeah, owning myself, not
Yeah.
giving it away to anybody.
Yeah. It's so interesting that like this journey, like it was very important to kind of clean the people out of your life, the brother and the sister and the uncle, and the different dynamics there, so that you could see yourself where you are. It's very easy to blame the things in our external reality, but if you don't know self-love, you're not loving. You're not loving
Yeah.
yourself, and you're not loving your external reality, no matter how much you try and play the role. This is why many of us that were victims end up running into being, the controlling aspect of the caretaker, where the caretaker is stepping in, trying to take care of all of the things, and controlling the realities, so that it's the self-esteem fundraiser. Everyone else will tell you how wonderful you are. So you're constantly proving to yourself that you're wonderful, so you can't be this terrible thing. And it's not
Yeah.
that you're this terrible thing. We're all things. We're all of them. We're as wicked could be. You could be the 11-year-old that pulls the knife on your brother, to
Yeah, I mean,
the most awesome person. And
if you were to ask like so many people, and they would not know that that side of me existed. Only my siblings would be like, to them I was always a monster, but really it was like myself. I saw myself as the
the
monster.
monster. It
And
was your
then
perspective.
yeah, and then here goes the monster, like dressed in like kind of like the wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yeah.
You go to
Yeah.
church and they only see the little sheep, the little lamb,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
innocent and pure. And then you go home, you take that off, and everyone sees the wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's the people that are closest to us that get to do that, because we're the most comfortable with them. So we can take that sheep's clothing off, And I hadn't realized, like with the battles, for example, I had with my sister, and how much I had just been fully battling myself, and that even if I stopped the argument from my mouth, didn't mean I stopped the argument. And it kept
yeah,
going on. And it took Zach being like, Jen, sometimes you need to just tell me to shut the fuck up. And I'm like, oh, I would never say that, me with my sheep's clothing on, And then I take this off, and then it was like so untrained. It was like the
yeah,
floodgates were opened, and I'm like, oh, how do I stop this? This is not what I'm thinking or feeling. No, this is what I'm thinking, feeling. Oh my gosh. And the crazy starts to begin.
and
But it's not. It's navigating that. It's calming the argument that you're having with yourself, and that's why it's not ever anybody else. And that's what you start to realize when you let the floodgates open, if you will. You're like, whoa, actually, that's not how I feel. But I already let it out. I already made that action, and now I have to stand here in this space.
yeah.
Yeah, and loving yourself there, and that's a process. But this work that we're doing, this work that you're sharing here, is part of that process.
And I was always the yeller, the screamer, the one to get the loudest, and
Why
trying
did
to
you
be
put the
heard.
food? Yeah, why do you put the
Yeah,
food this way? And like it needs to be this perfect
the
way.
most ridiculous things.
Yeah,
Really, if I look back at it, it's
yeah.
I
No, I
don't
know,
even.
I know.
Yeah, I
But this
don't
is
understand why I felt that.
it's
And
the
even
twist.
now, and
It's the
even in
twist.
that moment, I'm aware of like, why am I mad about nothing?
Yeah.
And I can't stop it, or I
No,
can,
you can't.
but
Yeah.
I can't. I didn't know how, and
It's the tools. We're sharpening the tools. They exist.
mhm,
But it is that prismatic reality that we talk about, where when you put those emotional lenses on, you twist your reality so it becomes like a coincidentia oppositorum, a coincidental opposite, something that is totally opposite of you, but it still is you because you're enacting that, right?
mhm,
So beating yourself up for, because you perceive that you did something not right or unkind is not the way to go about it. In fact, the reason why you are doing that is because you are hurting yourself.
Yeah.
and you are not loving yourself. And so you can't help but project that out into your external reality if you're not doing that for you. And this is what you were saying before, and I don't think you shared it here on the show, but when we were talking, is
Yeah.
not being able to perceive the love. So even
Yeah.
though you had people in your life, if you want to expand on that a little bit
Yeah.
more.
I mean, everyone has expressed gratitude and love to me. Even like today when I told you I went to take my old boss some elderberry, that, she was showing gratitude. Like at that moment I realized, like, she's showing me gratitude, but really I'm showing gratitude too for
Yeah.
myself. And back then, like, it would just be like, oh, like I'm such a nice person. Oh, like I'm such a nice person. Like,
Yep.
but I wouldn't,
Self-esteem fundraiser.
yeah, but I wouldn't be thinking like, like, do I really feel like I am? Like, do I really love myself? Like the way everyone says they love me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I didn't. I didn't. That's where I think, I don't know if anyone's on my Facebook. Uh, I think the super long post about how I went back and
Oh,
rewrote
yes.
all
Yes,
the
I'm glad you're
captions,
sharing this.
because a lot of the captions said, well, even one of them said, I really like my shirt, but not my face. And I was like, why would I say that to myself? And I rewrote the caption. I said, I really like my shirt and my face.
Aww.
And a lot of things, like even stuff that I knew what I really wanted to say was like, I feel good about myself, but I felt I'm being shallow if I say that. Um,
Sure.
I can't be confident
Yeah.
because, how conceited of me.
Yeah, conceit. I was thinking that because
But
that's
it,
what I would get when I was younger. Like, stop being so
yeah,
conceited,
but
Jennifer. When
yeah, you're
no,
not conceited. You're
no,
just like
nope,
actually just showing up for yourself and loving yourself.
yep,
And I went back to all the pictures where, I did look my best, but at the same time, I felt my worst. Like
sure,
it could be the opposite now. Like maybe I don't look my best, but I feel my best. So I
yeah,
am the best, you know? Like I stopped
beautiful.
wearing white makeup like a long time ago. Like you can't even tell I'm wearing makeup right now because I tried and it's like, nah, it's not me. It's not me. And and yeah, like I don't even like care. Like, hey, I didn't shave my legs and I'm wearing shorts. Like,
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
no,
And back then, like I thought I was, fat and ugly, and just like I had low self-esteem, and it deflected because, even sometimes some people would say stuff like, "Oh, you've gained weight," or like, you know,
yeah,
and I had friends that were not friends in the church that led me to leave, that would try to even control the way I dressed. They would take me shopping and tell me like, no, you need to dress this way. And
yeah,
it was always like kind of, I realized like later on that it was just jealousy on their end. They did not want me to look better than them because they literally would pick clothes that their mom had.
mm,
Like they would dress me like their mom, and I
sure,
was just like, okay, I think this is the way I'm supposed to look then,
yeah.
because church.
Because church,
Yeah,
trust me, Mormons can dress quite a particular way. Because
yeah,
I
and
am not appropriately dressed currently under the Mormon conditions.
and
Yeah.
yeah, and that's another picture I guess I put on. Uh, I have this thing, I don't like to wear sleeveless shirts, and I posted a picture of me wearing a sleeveless shirt, and I was like, back then I posted it because I thought I looked good. And I liked the way I looked in that picture. And I liked the fact that I could embrace not wearing a shirt like that had sleeves.
Yeah.
And instead I put getting my farmer's tan on. Or something about a farmer's tan, which was
Sure.
like, it wasn't really what I wanted to say. So I went back and I put something like, embracing myself wearing a sleeveless shirt, something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But
That's
I
awesome.
changed a lot of the narrative. I think another one was something about dark circles. I had this also thing where I thought my dark circles just made me, ugly or look tired all the time. And I don't care anymore. And they're kind of gone away. But what did I put? I put like something about dark circles. And I was like, no, let me change that to something positive. And I kind of just kept going from there.
I love
And
it.
and so I rewrote my own history.
I
And that
like it.
and most of that started, I guess, like I said, 2012 was a big year for me.
Yeah.
All these changes happened and they haven't stopped happening, but I've been able to learn how I can manage
Yeah.
through them.
Yeah. Oh, I think that is just such a wonderful story, like about going. Like when I read your post today, I was like, "What? That is so awesome!" To
Yeah.
like take a step back and like rewrite your history, and it's to her story, like
Yeah.
literally history
And
to her story, and that's how you do it. Willow says the other day I deleted an old Facebook account I had since I was 8. It was so cringy. Okay, so she did this. I love playing with makeup, but I also love not feeling like I have to wear it every day to look normal. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So
I mean, I got nowhere to go, so.
yeah, no, yeah, I posted a lot of pictures of me without makeup and makeup. I like to wear it when I'm on the show here. But
Yeah.
that's like I like putting it on and having that like routine of doing it. But it's not a common thing for me to do. It's
Mhm.
just something I like to do. and
Yeah, and my mom's mom, my grandma, she would always be like, she was always, I think maybe some of it came from her. Uh, I tried not to take a lot of her advice because I knew she was so, like, she never really looked at herself and the trauma was always there and everyone could see it,
yeah,
basically. But
yeah,
her advice for me was always like, don't gain weight, you know, and never leave the house without makeup and doing your hair
sure, yeah,
and dressing a certain way even.
yeah,
So when I'd go visit her and I was not fat, and she would tell me I'm gaining weight
yeah,
and take care of myself and I'm letting myself go, and I was like, really? I'm like 22,
yeah,
23 years old. I'm not going anywhere.
yeah,
I'm just beginning to live my life.
yeah,
I'm not letting myself go yet.
yeah. Uh, Well, I love where you are today. When it comes to weight gain, if you stuff your issues, they go into your tissues. When you do this self healing work, the weight it comes off, and
Yeah, I feel my brain all fuzzy right now.
yeah, I bet it's a lot of energy, um,
Hmm.
and uh, and I think it's huge to kind of if you feel like your brain fuzzy, if you want to root it out and see if you can just like pull it down and push it out through your root and slough off the dense energy. So sit up nice and tall, and then just root it, bring it down. Like if you do, we could just do it through the crown. I could do a harmonic. Do we root again? Yeah, just breathe. That was good. It
Yeah.
says, "Oh boy, family making you feel self-conscious about your body is the absolute worst." Yeah, I think that's it. When we start talking about the insecurities and sharing those things, that can make the head very fuzzy, and can
I,
cause us to have self-doubt. And
yeah. I've learned not to take those comments to heart because I know that they're not true. I mean, my grandpa would make remarks like leggings. Anytime I wore leggings, he'd say I had got chicken legs.
oh man,
And yeah, he's a jokester too, so
sure.
I
And
try not to take it to heart because, when people start saying those comments, like, they might feel that way about themselves and it's not really you.
It's their
And
own projections of
yeah,
themselves
and
generally.
and sometimes they do hurt, so you can't really like avoid how it feels all the time, but you
I
can't let it sit there too long either.
I believe when you build that self love and love where you are now, that those comments don't have the same effect.
Hmm.
And understand that most people's intentions aren't actually to hurt, though their actions and words may seem very hurtful. It's that they are hurting. They're
Yeah.
not, they're hurting, and they end up distorting their own realities. And when you have that self-love, you don't have to take those negative comments inside of you. It's only your choice to take it in. And if you're in your truth, and let's say you love your legs, then you love your legs and you don't have chicken legs, you know?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't have a problem with my legs.
No,
It's
no.
it's just my grandpa being my grandpa. You know, he's always deflected with jokes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Oh man. This is it is really really awesome to see the growth that you have had over the last bit, and the time that you've taken to like work on yourself. You're going to be having your sister potentially moving back in,
yeah,
and having that break from her for this bit, I think, has been a very beneficial one. What's your feelings on that?
I'm excited. I get to see, how much I've progressed. It's kind of like not a test, but like, I guess it is a test and to see like, how am I going to react now? Like, now that I really know that I'm the problem, am I going to keep doing the same thing and regress into who I used to be? Or am I going to continue to be the person that I know that I am?
Well, you have the ability to affect change for sure, Jasmine, because
Yeah.
you have affected quite a lot of change inside of yourself. Um, I think the biggest thing I say on that is that you've had many years of habituation with a certain person, and you've habituated certain aspects, and just understand that every like cell in your body has been acting with that same habituation, and when you change your mind and begin to enact different, do this self-love, is this kind, is this caring, to be able to meet yourself at those points is where you'll be able to transcend. Yeah, yeah. You
I'm
think?
popping my back.
Yeah.
It's slouching a
So
bit.
sure, and get that energy going. But yeah, with
Yeah.
your cells, I mean, you just have a certain level of habituation, and it's breaking the habit and choosing to do a different action in the moment. Oh, I can't hear you. I don't know what just happened. Oh, there you
Hello?
are. Okay, there you are.
I
I don't know.
told I told you I was gonna get a phone.
Oh, yeah. She said this. She said, I'm going to get a phone call when this show happens. And I was like, yeah, I guess now that you've said it and you believe it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And, and here it is. Oh, man. Anyway, that's pretty funny. But yeah, guys, it's like doing that work and choosing to show up different. When we have these people that we love and care about, and we want them to be in our lives, and let's say we haven't shown the most care in those situations, the way that we show more care in those situations is to make sure that we're being caring about ourselves. And when we're being caring about ourselves, we will know how to be caring about another. I can't hear you, Jasmine. Are, mm, I don't know. Perhaps. Okay, what do we do when the phone call comes in? Can you exit out of StreamYard and maybe try and pop yourself back in? I hope this. Oh,
Can
there
you
we
hear
go.
me?
Yeah, I can. I
Okay.
can. All
Okay,
right.
that's what I was saying. I was
Okay,
saying
who
my
would.
sister was the
Your
my
sister?
sister was the one calling.
I love it. I love it. Yep.
And
There's the
and she's
person that called.
she's she's calling because she's on her way because she's literally moving back in today, which I thought was gonna happen Monday, and it
Wow.
didn't. And for some reason, it's today.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's huge. You cleaned out the skeletons in your closet last night.
Yes.
And
And
now
I
your sister's coming
and I
today.
found my medicine cards.
Yay! I love it. I love it. Yay!
Yes.
She's
Yes.
been looking for those for quite some time.
Since February, I have been looking for these.
And the night before she comes on, hey, why don't you open up your deck of cards and pull out a card for us?
Okay. Let me see. Let me make sure that I have all of them in here. Cause
You don't have the swan in there.
yeah, that's why I was trying to put it back, but where did it go? Now this one is missing.
Maybe you got the
There it
medicine.
is.
Okay.
Found it.
Yay.
Yeah, I think I got the swan message for sure.
Yeah.
This whole journey's been swan for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you ever do swan on the show?
No, we have not done swan on the show.
It's actually really relevant to my journey.
Well, why don't you share it with us so that we can learn
Um,
about the swan?
Hold on, someone's knocking.
Okay.
Can I? Give me just a
Got a
second.
hole in my lip. Okay. All right. Well, Jasmine's doing that. Uh, wow. I think it is very, very powerful to have somebody, step into this space. It's so interesting to hear people's stories and their journeys and where they're at and where they've been, and it's fascinating to allow yourself to find your voice within this kind of platform. And I think Jasmine's doing a very beautiful job finding herself right now. I love her. She's so cute. Look at her. She's still muted. You want to unmute?
I said I love you too.
Ah.
Um, my sister is here, so my husband went to go help her get her things.
All right.
But I'm shuffling, and I can read Swan, and then I can pick another card if you want.
Okay. And then we can do, how about a fast meditation with everyone with the cards that we'll pull. And I definitely want to do a self-love meditation and raising our consciousness together here in this space. So Jasmine will be the card drawer of the show today and the reader.
This is fun.
Yes.
Okay, so Swan is the number 39, and it's Grace. And the poem says, Swan, the power of woman, entering sacred space, touching future yet to come, bringing eternal grace. And then the story is, little Swan flew through the dream time, looking for the future. She rested for a moment in the coolness of the pond, looking for a way to find the entry point to the future. This was a moment of confusion for Swan, as she knew that she had happened into the dreamtime by accident. This was her first flight alone, and she was a bit concerned by the dreamtime landscape. So this first paragraph, just so relevant because so many things. And then, as Swan looked high above Sacred Mountain, she saw the biggest swirling black hole, my rabbit hole, she had ever seen. Dragonfly came flying by, and Swan stopped him to ask about the black hole. Dragonfly said, Swan, that is the doorway to other planes of imagination. I have been guardian of the illusion for many, many moons. If you want to enter there, you would have to ask permission and earn the right. Swan was not so sure that she wanted to enter the black hole. She asked Dragonfly what was necessary for her to earn entry. Dragonfly replied, You must be willing to accept whatever the future holds as it is presented, without trying to change Great Spirit's plan. Swan looked at her ugly little duckling body and then answered, I will be happy to abide by Great Spirit's plan. I won't fight the currents of the black hole. I will surrender to the flow of the spiral and trust what I am shown. Dragonfly was very happy with Swan's answer and began to spin the magic to break the pond's illusion. Suddenly, Swan was engulfed by a whirlpool in the center of the pond. Swan reappeared many days later, but now she was graceful and white and long-necked. Dragonfly was stunned. Swan, what happened to you? He exclaimed. Swan smiled and said, Dragonfly, I learned to surrender my body to the power of Great Spirit and was taken to where the future lives. I saw many wonders high on Sacred Mountain, and because of my faith and my acceptance, I have been changed. I have learned to accept the state of grace. Dragonfly was very happy for Swan. Swan told Dragonfly many of the wonders beyond the illusion through her healing and her acceptance of the state of grace. She was given the right to enter the dream time. So it is that we learn to surrender to the grace of the rhythm of the universe and slip from our physical bodies into the dream time. Swan medicine teaches us to be at one with all planes of consciousness and to trust in Great Spirit's protection. If you pulled Swan, it ushers in a time of altered states of awareness and of development of your intuitive abilities. Swan medicine people have the ability to see the future, to surrender to the power of Great Spirit, and to accept the healing and transformation of their lives. The Swan card is telling you to accept your ability to know what lies ahead. If you are resisting your self-transformation, relax. It will be easier if you go with the flow. Stop denying that you know who is calling when the phone rings. Pay attention to your hunches and your gut knowledge, and honor your female intuitive side.
I love that.
That was a lot to read.
Yeah, yeah, it was. So with the swan, when you had misplaced, when Jasmine had misplaced the medicine cards went away for a while in her life, but there was only one card that remained out that she had found, and it was the swan. So the first time Jasmine and I had ever talked, we found that we actually had the same medicine card deck, and but hers was missing except for the swan. And so the swan has been very prevalent among amidst this journey that Jasmine has been on since February.
Yeah.
And that's why it makes it so even more ironic just to hear the medicine today. And you have been operating with a lot of grace, and that's pretty awesome. So
Yeah.
what's,
Huh?
go ahead.
The contrary?
Yeah, sure.
Or,
Yes. If you do you feel
or
the
what?
contrary?
No, not really.
Okay, if you don't feel it, don't read it. It's up to you. Like I'll read it sometimes if I feel it, and if you don't feel it,
I feel like it was a positive thing. Not positive, like not that both are bad, but
no,
that the message was received
upright.
in upright.
Yeah, yeah, me too. I get that sense too. So
And also contrary is so long.
Oh, okay, all right. That is
But
awesome.
what were you gonna ask us? You said what something and I interrupted.
Oh, I was just gonna say, why don't you pull one more card out, and we'll have two, because we have the feminine. We've got the feminine card, so let's see what
There's
comes
a
in next.
masculine.
Well, let's see what it does.
I'm not good at shuffling.
Oh, it's just what you feel. It's gonna be the right one.
And I was thinking of Opossum. 23 is a number I see a lot.
Which is a 5, which is magic.
Yeah.
And the pie.
I think we've had
dead.
possum before, right?
No.
We've never done possum
No,
on your
not
show?
on the show. We have not done possum yet on the show.
I thought we did. Or it was
We did,
armadillo.
yeah, it was armadillo. I did pull possum, but not for the show. A few weeks ago. It's a good medicine.
And then that moth that I told you was in my living room.
Yeah.
It was in my window earlier.
Here comes the fly.
The flies have been bugging me too.
Oh man, yeah, me too. I went today because so the apple cider vinegar they love that. Like, well, for the first day they actually didn't. I just got like even though they said it was like their favorite, they actually didn't like it at first, and then that didn't work because they're so smart. And then today I covered the house in lavender and some peppermint, and I picked also a mint plant, and I started wiping it and cleaning it everywhere. And the flies really like Red Dog a lot, and she'll end up releasing this like pheromone of something where she's agitated by the flies, which only draws the flies in more. And so like it's constantly washing the bedding, and so it's just been a journey, man. The flies, it's been a journey with them.
I had bought that sticky tape that you just the
Yeah, just
flies.
kill them.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't know. Like I knew and I didn't know. I didn't feel.
Bad.
Yeah, and now it's like I do feel bad because we've been doing all this animal medicine,
Yeah.
and it's like the tape is still there because I really don't want to touch it. But
Yeah.
they don't even like it. I've only caught one fly this whole time with that tape,
Oh, wow. Yeah.
and and
They're
then they're
so
like, "Oh, the
smart.
tape's there." Nope.
Yep, they're so smart, man. They're so smart, and I know like when we do this healing work, like that's really like I think we're summoning in the flies. Like I
Yeah.
think that is it. But I doused my house in it to the lavender and the peppermint, and that did pretty good. Like there's way less in here now, so
I will try
I would
that.
I would
I,
recommend. There's that and basil. They said flies really disdain, so I'm gonna try and just fill my house with all of that kind of stuff and hopefully get the flies gone. But they're everywhere, man. It's just this part of California, but it is a medicine and it's coming. And even last night, like yesterday, I had shared that I went to save a fly and I like it landed in the oil and I took alcohol and I cleaned its little legs off and then I come like have this like enlightening moment and then like come inside and I drink like my coffee and in my mouth pops this dead fly and I was like, what? I saved one fly, I'd only have one fly die. Oh. And then Zach, he this morning, or was it this morning? Yeah, I think he took a drink and he had a fly that came to him too. It's all dead in his mouth and it's like, oh man. So we're getting the dead fly medicine now. Like before it was all the live flies and now the dead flies are happening. So maybe they're gonna work their way out.
their way out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was doing that with the gnats. I had a gnat problem.
Mm.
And it was just this one plant, and I just like finally got rid of them with the vinegar too.
Yeah,
Like
it's weird.
they 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 like it.
Yeah, they like it for sure. Yeah. So, what card?
Opossum.
Possum. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, opossum is diversion.
Interesting.
And
Interesting.
we just diverted a bit.
Yeah, that was really funny.
Number 23. Opossum, roll over. Are you really dead or just playing possum? Was it something I said? Opossum's greatest form of protection is to play dead. In doing this, a possum confuses many a predator into believing that the game is over. Oftentimes, the confused rival walks away or looks the other direction for a moment, and a possum runs to safety. A possum medicine uses a great deal of strategy. If all else fails, a possum plays dead. It has the ability to fight with its claws and teeth, but it rarely uses this form of protection. Instead, the supreme strategy of diversion is constantly employed when things get a little too hard to handle. A possum has developed an act that would receive an Academy Award in the animal kingdom. The musk of the death scent is excreted at will, adding to the master play that sends enemies on many trails of confusion. If a possum has turned up in your cards, you are being asked to use strategy in some present situation. Rely upon your instincts for the best way out of a tight corner. If you have to pretend to be apathetic or unafraid, do it. Oftentimes, if you refuse to struggle or show that hurtful words bother you, your taunter will see no further fun in the game. Warriors have used opossum medicine for centuries, playing dead when the enemy nears and outnumbers them. Then in a flash, when the enemy is least expecting it, the war cry is heard. The fright of this serves to further confuse the unsuspecting opposition. Victory is sweet of when the strategy is one of mental as well as physical prowess. A possum may be relaying to you that you are to expect the unexpected and be clever in achieving your victory. This could be a victory over a bothersome salesman or a nosy neighbor. In essence, a possum is beckoning you to use your brain, use your sense of drama and surprise to leap over some barrier to your progress. Do you
Oh,
want me to read contrary, or
I
what do
kind
you
of
feel?
I feel like I feel like contrary would be good to be pulled in because I feel a lot of sense like because there's been like even the shift of your sister now coming
Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of part of this journey. So I'd like to get all the information of the possum because I think it's really bringing some good insight. So yes.
So, contrary, in the reverse position, a possum may be warning you against getting caught in the high drama of your life's present scenario. Close your eyes and dramatize may keep you from seeing the truth of a situation. You may buy into melodrama in yourself or others. You might as well play dead if you are justifying what you're doing with a tragic victim routine.
I knew it. I felt it.
If this concept does not apply to your situation, take a look at the possibility that you may have recently been giving excuses for why you don't want to do something instead of telling the truth. That was me with the closet. I
Oh,
was putting it off a lot.
yeah.
And in fearing to hurt someone's feelings, you may have trapped yourself in a justification pattern. I'm too sick, I'm too poor, I'm watching my weight, I'm too short, tall, sad, busy, tired. In having to defend yourself with excuses, you may have lost the point. You don't have to defend your right to be. The exercise is in learning to politely say that something would not be appropriate for you at this time. That's all. You owe no one an excuse. Learn to imitate a possum and play dead, in the sense that the best strategy is no defense. In assuming the viewpoint of no defense, you have chosen the right to be who and what you are with no games involved. The proper use of diversion is to know when you do not need to use diversion at all. You owe no one an excuse for how you feel or what you choose to experience. So relevant.
It's so relevant. You're like, should I read contrary? Every part of me just felt like, ah, yes, there is something coming in that. I just totally felt that. I think it's so relevant and so appropriate. Like
E-
you
Even
go
though I
ahead.
pulled it upright.
Yeah. Well, it's not so much always like when you pull a card just like because it's upright that the contrary doesn't apply.
I
And
always read both.
I don't always read both, but sometimes, often I will, and just to kind of get the whole circling of that medicine. With Swan, I didn't feel that way. I felt like it was
Yeah.
very much the upright, and that was the message that was to be pulled in and used today, and so that's really rad, Jasmine. Really like placing yourself in a position where several months ago, perhaps you had contention between you and your space when it came to this relationship. and then also the self work that you have done, and it's giving you the answer that sometimes it's better to have those, break those habituations by just playing dead rather than acting it out in dramatics.
Mm-hmm.
And you've already done that, and that didn't work. So looking at doing it different, what is the solution? It's always within the riddle, and Possum has come to answer that for us. So what I'd like to do, you guys, is to pull in and do a brief meditation, and do it where pretty much we're going to build ourselves in our Merkabas. We're going to build that toroid that we built yesterday out into our space as well. This is just going to get that energy circling, and then pull in the energy of the swan and also the possum. And then I will definitely play some music, and self-love, man. Self-love, and self-care and kindness and all the beauty. So we'll stay. Well, today we're going to get into the throat chakra because it's speaking your truth. You're here and you're speaking. But we're going to hit the heart and the third eye today. So we'll do a little bit of the A, I, ah, and then circle the ah, I, a. And when you do the meditations, have you tried the harmonic toning by yourself yet?
Not very good at it.
No, I'm not going to ask you to do it today. I was just wondering if you did. I know.
I try, yeah, and Chris likes to do it with me.
Cool.
If it's on, if I'm playing it loud, but he's just,
Yeah.
he's just like, ah.
Oh, that's so cute. That's so awesome. Okay, so we will, so we will do a brief meditation of pulling all of that in. I don't know. Get yourself in a comfortable position, and we'll drink a little bit of water. If you guys have water, I would encourage you to drink some and set your intentions with it. Love, self-love, abundance. Yep. Raising our consciousness. Get my flute.
It feels like nobody's watching because it's so quiet in the chat.
Oh, yeah, it is. It is kind of quiet over there in the chat right now. But there are people here, and I love you guys. Thank you for being here and being with us.
It does ease the nerves, so because it's like it eases, I guess, the nerves, like not knowing.
Yeah.
A little bit. Mm-hmm.
Like how many people are actually watching? Yeah. Can you not see on your screen how many people are watching?
I don't think it says. No, it doesn't tell me.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't know for a really long time where it was located on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
But now I know, and I wish I hadn't known.
Yeah.
But you know what I did find out the other day when I was saying goodbye? There was more people in the chat saying goodbye than what the numbers actually said.
That's weird.
Yeah, so it's actually not accurate.
And now there's.
See, this is it. Everyone popped in. We got Jacob. I'm watching! Exclamation point. Willow's like, I'm watching and listening. Heart, heart, heart. And then we have even Sierra. We are here. Love listening to your story. I love. Oh, Sierra. I want to say Sierra's just written a book. If you could, we'll get this information. I really want to get Sierra on here and share about that as well. Oh, here comes Christopher.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
No. It's under control.
Okay.
It will
pass.
Resolve. Yeah.
Okay. It's distractions. Distractions come in when we start to do this work. So Sammy says
diversions.
Loving. Exactly. And so sending Christopher love, and let's root him down. And he's calming. Yeah. Bringing it down. Loving just listening to your story, Jasmine, Sammy says. Jacob says we're all just captivated right now, or at least I am. And then
Thank you.
and Robert is the swan in the heart, and I love that. And trying to figure out how to use Adobe Premiere right now. Oh,
I just want to say thank you, I guess, to you and to everybody that's in here and everyone in the group, that all that's like just having them even responding in the chat, that's just helpful. That's just like, I don't know, so loving and just beautiful. So many words that can't describe it. I'm just grateful
it
for
feels really
everyone.
good. It feels really good,
Yeah.
doesn't it? Yeah,
And
it's really awesome.
to actually like you guys see me telling you thank you.
Yeah,
And it's not just words. It's now you hear my voice,
yeah,
and you can always hear my voice now when you hear me typing
yeah.
or see me typing. I
Says
love you too, Sam. Sammy.
Sammy or Sam. She goes by both. That is so awesome. Jasmine, you are such a bright and beautiful spirit, and I'm just so grateful that you keep choosing yourself and questioning it is everything that it is you believe. All the answers are at your fingertips right now, and as we go down this journey together, you'll just keep doing that work. And there's a reason now that your sister is coming back and balancing that out and giving you an opportunity to show how you can transcend yourself in old actions and can share with us part of that, because it's these things, these relationships and these aspects that cause the disease within our bodies. And so when we are doing this work, when it seems like the Uncle Bob over here, or the Sister Jane, it's never them. It is actually you and how your perspective is taking it in, and then how you're choosing to enact and show up into your life. And it's a whole ecosystem. And so now today, like you cleaning out your closet after you had procrastinated it for so long, you
I've
cleaned
been
out
there.
the skeletons.
I just
You
want to
found your
say,
yeah.
I've been in this house for 6 months. 6 months of not wanting to touch that closet.
Yeah, yeah, it's a big deal, man, big deal, and it's kind of a cool journey too, because tomorrow, even based off like if you actually follow the Mayankin, the Tzolk'in Mayankin calendar,
I'm terrible at all
but
that stuff.
but they had said based off of the Mayan calendar in 2012 was supposed to be the end of the world, but it's really marked for tomorrow.
So if I
So
don't see you guys
yeah, no,
tomorrow,
we'll be
in
here. We'll
this,
be here in a
in
whole
this,
new dimensional reality
yeah.
of self-love. And so what we're bringing in and building in this space is what we are going to be taking with us and rebirthing ourselves into the new and
Yeah.
awesome reality as it has been foretold.
Yes.
We are doing it. And again, like those that are in this kind of healing space, man, we're part of that like 1%,
Yeah.
of actually doing it. And
Or
it's
maybe we will see each other tomorrow,
yeah.
and we'll all be like little light beings and be like, "Hey."
I know. It will be like totally light beings. We won't even have these bodies. We'll just be like these amorphous orbs of like awesome light, and like things are, oh, who knows what it will be.
We'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll find out. But the truth is it's really rad to
Yeah.
be able to be in this space, and Jazz, and you stepping up and facing the skeletons in your closet and opening them up. I mean, there's so many more stories I know that you could vulnerably share, and
Yeah,
I
man.
just yeah.
There's a whole bunch of
Yeah,
stories
of
in this
course,
little
of course.
meat suit.
Yeah, of course. And so I'm grateful for all that you have. And I think that, touching on even like the relationship with the sister and what that's like to kind of get the updates of how
Hmm.
does Jasmine transcend herself and show up as, are you the older sister or younger sister?
I'm the middle child, so
Oh, middle. Yeah.
people always tend to say like the middle child are always the victim.
Yeah.
And we do victimize
Yeah.
ourselves a lot.
Yeah, well, I would fall under that.
Yeah.
I was a middle child and identified with the victim quite a lot, and so yeah, now that's changing, and now we're changing that because it's just
Because
doesn't have to be that
and
way.
it's something that just came to mind, like we always kind of felt like we wanted to be the center of attention and never felt like we were.
Yeah.
But the reality, we've always been the center of attention, literally.
Yeah.
And it's so true because like my mom and my dad had to sit down with me the most and
Yeah.
put more attention
Yeah.
to me because of my behavior.
Oh, that is funny.
So it's we've always been the center of attention. That's why we're the middle.
Oh my gosh, that is awesome. I have not heard that.
I've never put that together till like literally right now. You know how people are like, oh, I got a download. Well, that was my
That was
download.
yours. Oh,
Yeah.
that is so rad. I love that. That is so good. That is so good. It's so profound for me as well because I definitely have watched that middle child syndrome, if you will,
Yeah.
and yeah, the attention definitely many times was drawn on to me, and however that goes. That's so funny. So funny. I made sure it would happen too. You know, I made sure because I didn't want to not have that attention. I
Yeah.
saw the older child getting to do the first, get to drive the car first or whatever, go on a date first. And then like the younger sister that was always coddled and carried. But the reality
Yeah.
was this, I made sure to manipulate my reality to always be that center of attention. So that is so good. Good.
Whether it was getting scolded at or, actually just having the attention,
Yeah. Yeah.
we got attention somehow.
Yeah. Shut 10 in. Yeah, it is very, very true. Very true. Very true for my reality as well. So
Yes.
let's do this. Let's center, and then you can get out and go and love on your son and your sister, and have that whole journey. I want to say thank you again, and I'll thank you after the meditation for being here and so bravely sharing your story, and keep us posted with your pictures of your beautiful garden.
Yeah.
So also,
Huh?
and also with this meditation, I don't know why my camera just turned me. Well, that's just the way. Oh, it's frozen me. Can you hear me still? Oh, of
I
course you
can
can
hear
still hear
you.
me. Let
Yeah.
me. Let me.
For some reason, it says your mic is muted though, but I still hear you.
Oh,
Interesting.
you know what I think it is, and let me
Oh,
see
because
it.
you're streaming two different.
Oh shoot.
Okay. Oh, because you're streaming your phone and then you're using the mic separate, right?
Yeah, but what's happened is I think that my phone has died.
Oh,
So you get that fun little frozen picture of me. I have another camera, and I wonder, start cam.
there.
I
It's
might
not.
be.
It's perfect.
It's perfect. Like, it's
It's
funny that
perfect.
camera often does not work. So I will,
Holding that frequency.
yeah, get that one out, and there we go. Yeah, we're channeling that. So I have another camera. Backup plan averted. Not averted, but made. I got it. Okay. All right. So let's just begin with the meditation. So find a quiet place and close your eyes, and we'll begin with just our breath. And breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. And just see where your breath is at today. And take your attention and draw them to the bottom of your feet. And build a wiring system out from your feet, a red wiring system, and connect them to the earth. They'll look like roots, rooted into the earth. And take a breath in through your nose and out. And take your tongue and rest it on the roof of your mouth if you haven't already. And take, with your mind's eye, a moment to draw a triangle above your head. And then connect the points of that triangle and connect them to the bottom of your feet. And then draw another triangle at the bottom of your feet or underneath you and connect the points of the triangle above your head. Beautiful. And then on your right side, up through your center and out through your crown and off to your right and circling back around and up below you, draw a circle. This is the first part of your toroid, the right side. And draw this circle so it circles all the parts of your right, so that it looks like a chain link fence, like a chalice, surrounding your right, going up and in and out and around. And once you've done that, do the same to your left. Draw an energy up and out and down and back in. And circle this energy. So you have two sides, the right and the left. Beautiful. Come back to the center inside of your Merkaba and see that there's a box that's been placed there. And walk over to this box. And let's take off our masks. Take off anything that blocks us from being the authentic you. Take off your meat suit and let's hang out in our light. Let's be those beautiful light beings here in this space, inside the void, where anything is possible. Here we create. And once you're done taking off the things that no longer serve you in this space, any of the negative things that might have gone on, that might be mucking up the system, breathe it into that box. Exhalate that dense energy into that box. And then go ahead and shut the box and come back into a seated position in that space. And breathe in the light. And then above your head, see a crystalline wiring system coming out through your crown. It looks like the helixing wires of your DNA. And above is the swan flying in with all her grace. And breathe her in and breathe her down through your crown and down through your mind and down through your throat and into your heart. And here we'll tone. And we'll tone her back up, back into your third eye. And here she is inside your mind, teaching you about the balance necessary and needed within this space of self-love. Jasmine, we love you so much. Thank you for being here. Feel this inside your mind and bring it down into your throat. Here in this space, you speak your truth, and we love you, and I love you. And all of you out there, I love you too. And we breathe her in and breathe her down and tone into our heart. And breathe the swan in farther down, down into your solar plexus, down into that space, allowing you to navigate through any anxious space with grace and ease. And breathe it down into your sacral chakra, healing any of the relational issues, any of the past, to allow you to love yourself now. And you're beautiful, and I love you. I love you here. And breathe the swan down, down into your root, down into that space, down into your earth, circling around and flying into your torrid. And breathe the swan back in and up through your sacral chakra, through your solar plexus and into your heart. Here is where she is. Here is where she remains. And take a breath in through your nose and out through your nose. And then above your head, let's pull in the possum. He's been waiting. Connect your wires. Connect them in this space. Connect the wires to the possum, showing you how it is to navigate with brilliance, whether it's time to play dead or whether it's time to be awake. The tactics all and all the tools you have within you. Breathe in the possum. Breathe it in through your crown, into your third eye, into your throat, and into your heart. And here we tone with the possum. Thank you, possum, for being here. And now breathe him in. Breathe him down into your belly. Breathe him into this space. Showing you that it will help teach you how to navigate, when to divert, when the diversions come, to help you have the discipline. Thank you, possum. And breathe them in, down into your solar plexus, down into your sacral chakra, and down and out through your root, down and out into the earth, sharing its great medicine with all that surrounds, and out into your toroidic field, and then back up through your root, and back up into your sacral chakra, and back up to your solar plexus, allowing the possum to be in all areas, and back into the heart, and back into the throat, and inside the third eye, inside the mind, inside this space. We will tone here. Beautiful. Thank you, possum, for coming and helping and being in this space. I love you. And now with the next amount of wires, one planetary system that knows so much about self-love is the Pleiades. The Pleiadian energy is very powerful here. Connect your wires to the Pleiades, to the Pleiadian energy, and breathe in their light. Breathe in the crystalline light of healing and self-love and higher consciousness and great awakening. They are here to share this journey and part of our rebirth and allowing us to see. Breathe in the Pleiadian energy inside your crown, inside your mind, inside your throat, inside your heart. And here we circle the Pleiadian energy, igniting the light within this space. It is a receiver. Your heart is the receiver. All information is at your fingertips whenever you need. When you struggle within a moment, just tap into this energy. It will give you the answers you seek. And breathe them in. Breathe them down into your solar plexus and ignite that light within your gut, within your belly. Ignite the self-love that is you. You are your highest version of yourself now. Here. And breathe them down into your sacral chakra, balancing the love, the relationships, and quelching the fear. And breathe them down your legs and through your feet to the earth, connecting in this space as above and so below. And circle it all around your toroidic field. Circle this energy out, out, out from your auric field, out farther from the toroidic field. Stretch that field as far as you can imagine, as far, far as you can imagine. And with your next breath, inhalate it back within your heart, back into your gut, igniting that space with the brightest light, the brightest of love and understanding and care and kindness and joy and peace and understanding and liberation. And it is all inside of you. And take this and breathe while I play and feel and experience this space build. And together we build. And together we build this together. As redundancy fills the space. As we build the more geometry around our space that is alike. And it sounds the same. More of this. More love. More laughter. More joy. More self-acceptance. Bring it in and breathe it in. You are love, and you are loved. Beautiful, beautiful. How are you breathing now? Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And take your right hand and put it over your heart. And place your left hand over your right hand. All the love is here. You are already here. All you have to do is remember that you already remember. All the information is at your fingertips whenever you need. And it is filled within this space. You are here. Your truest, authentic you. You are more than your body. And you are more than this space. I love you. I love you. I love you. You are kind. And you are caring. And you are strong. And you are a badass. And you are the teller of your story. You are all the power. And we are all one. I love you. Now come back. And go back to the box if you want. And pull out whatever you place that you would like to take with you. Or leave it there. Leave whatever no longer serves you. And breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. And when you are ready, open your eyes and take your arms and wrap them around yourself. And Jasmine's back. I love you.
It got dark in here. Oh,
I love you. I love you. I love you. I love all of you guys. Big hugs, big huge hugs, ginormous hugs within this space. I didn't realize the sound would be so abrupt, guys, so I'm sorry if it startled any of you. I muted you at one point, and I was like, oh, I could have done that a while ago, but it just did.
I should have muted
Should. Don't should on yourself. It was exactly perfect. It was exactly the way that it was supposed to be. Your sounds of your space were brought in. And virtual hugs, and totally virtual hugs for all of us. So I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I'm squeezing you tight. Squeezing you so tight.
Some love blasts to
Love blast.
everybody.
Yes.
Yes. I'm going to send all the love in the world.
And we're circling it around all of us right now. So rad, you guys. So rad. I love all of you guys so very, very much. And that was so fun to go on that journey. And we will journey on with the swan and the possum and see how that radiates and permeates out into our realities as much as Jasmine's. And Sammy says, thank you for sharing your story with us, Jasmine. And
I feel like I didn't even share like much of it, but I guess I shared what needed to be heard.
It was perfect. You shared exactly what needed to be shared at this time and in this space. And if there's more to come, we'll have you back on. And we'd definitely love to hear updates and how that.
I don't mind like coming back if anybody wants to hear more. I don't know how interesting I am to others, but if you find me interesting, and you want to hear more, I don't mind sharing.
Awesome. Yes, we would love to have you back. Sending lots of love to you all. Sammy says that was fantastic. Hopefully, we'll get to see you on the show again soon, Jasmine. Do you
Yeah.
see?
And
You're,
I think that everyone in the chat should come on at one point if they feel called to. But
yeah,
it'd be nice. It
yeah,
feels good.
yeah, yeah. It
Thank you,
does.
Sammy.
Yeah,
And
it is. It is. And it's a very unique space, you guys. It really is. It feels really rad to be in a spot because you can really feel that energy at a different magnitude. Would you agree with that, Jasmine?
I do. My head's all like, woo.
Yeah, it's all woozy and
But
woozy.
it's not a bad thing. Yeah, I
No.
also think of maybe I need to eat something to ground myself
Yeah.
too. But and I wanted to show you. I can't show you so clearly. My bumblebee Jasper.
Oh, awesome.
Let me hold on. I'm all tangled up here with these wires.
It's all right.
If you can see, maybe not.
No, you put it to the other side of the camera.
Yeah,
The
I'm
camera's.
so confused. Hold on.
Wait. Grab it in your hands like this. Hold it like. Oh, I see. You're trying to shine the light. Hold it still. You'll get it.
Which way?
Oh,
There
there
you
you go.
go.
Don't do the light because that's
Yeah,
blinding.
sorry. I'm
No,
so
it's
sorry.
totally no, it's totally fine. Wait, hold it still for one moment. Hold it still. Oh wow, that is so pretty. Your bumblebee Jasmine or
Jasper.
Jasper. And flip it around. I want to see the other side. Did you wrap that yourself?
No, I have a friend that
Oh,
in Mexico. She has a little shop. She's
very
been there
very
like
pretty.
15 years, and she was able to mail this to me.
So beautiful. Have you been wearing it for a while or how long have you had that?
I just got it.
Oh, rad. So all of us, let's send love and lots of energy into that right now.
Let
Woo!
me
I'm
see.
sending my love blast. Woo!
Trying
Yeah.
not to put the light without putting light on it.
I think you should take a good picture of it, Jasmine, and post
And I
it on
will
the
do
Fearless
that. That's
family.
different.
Yeah, and you're trying
It's
to get
not.
a good.
It's because I'm like too far from the light switch.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's fine.
And it
That's
got so dark in here.
yeah,
But I will send a picture, and you
yeah.
guys can appreciate it more because it's just got this like really nice yellow line through it, and it's so pretty.
So pretty, so symbolic, and so beautiful.
And it's a grounding stone.
Perfect.
So
Perfect. Exactly what is needed within the space. Jasmine, I love you so very, very much. And I'm so grateful you came on the show. And so many people are sending you love blasts. And so grateful that you are here and you shared this space with us and your story. It's just so rad. It takes a lot to come on this show and like work past yourself and there's always more stories. Like when you'll leave, you'll probably think of a gazillion things you'd like to have shared.
for sure.
Yeah, and that's kind of how it goes. But
Yeah. I
so
mean,
so
and if anyone ever wants to just talk to me, I'm open
yeah,
open book.
yeah.
Uh,
So please reach out to Jasmine and share in this beautiful journey on a even more personal level. And it's 222 where Sammy is.
222, I always see it.
Yeah.
222, my sister-in-law, the first time we saw her like apartment, we went to visit her, and it's 222 on the live chat, and it was 222 on her apartment number.
Oh wow! I think it was yesterday's episode. I ended at 2 hours and 22 minutes. It was yeah. Twos have been around, and we have what this says, which isn't necessarily true. 7 viewers, and it was almost like 2 hours and 23 minutes. So,
Wow.
yeah, it was a good show, man. It's amazing how fast time flies here.
It does, and 2 hours, wow.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? 2.5 almost.
Yeah.
So I want to thank everyone that has tuned in. Is there anything more you want to say before we go, Jasmine?
No, unless someone wants me to say something more, but I think we said a lot.
I think we said a lot, and I love you, and thank you for being here, and I love all of you guys, and thank you for being here, and
Thank you for having me,
it's this camera. Yeah,
holding space for me. Is this I love you in sign language?
it is. It is.
You know, for a while I learned sign language for church, and yeah, this was my sign name, Jasmine. But
Oh,
it was
that's
like
cool.
something like a smile, something to do with my smile and my necklace, and it was
Yeah.
like a J, and then like that.
Oh, that's pretty.
Hmm.
Did I do it?
Yeah, I'm not good at it. I know
I got this in the
bacon.
way. I think this is it, right? Did I do it? Is it like scoop
Like yeah, like you're making a J, and then
J? Well, J.
someone has to assign you your name. Like that's actually like a a deaf person, or
Oh,
like and that's the way they would do it at the church. Someone that was actually like had the disability
yeah.
would make up a name for you.
Oh, whoa. Okay. Interesting. I
That I
hadn't
don't know
heard
if
that.
that's a real thing, but that was how they would do it there. They would make up a name so you can have just a
Just a
symbol.
symbol.
Yeah.
That is very fascinating. I wonder if that is across the I had never heard that. I took sign language when I was younger, and I remember very little now. But yeah, I had never heard that before. But I mean, it would make sense, I guess, in the community that they would end up just doing some kind of
Yeah, because
symbol,
then you
making it
gotta like
easier.
spell the whole thing out one
Yeah,
by one.
but they're very fast with it.
I
Super
think
fast.
I can't do it.
Yeah, A B C D E F
S
G
no
H I J K
M
L M
I
N O P Q
N.
R
I
S
think I
T
did it wrong.
U V W X Y
We're
Z.
just throwing gang signs
Yeah,
now.
we totally did. We totally did our gang signs. Robert says, sending everyone the highest vibes. Thanks, Jen and Jasmine. Love you guys. Big hugs to you too, Sammy. And we're gonna end
Yeah,
this show. Jasmine, thank you so much for coming on. You are
thank
a
you for
badass.
having me.
And thank you for like rewriting your story on Facebook and bringing those like great ideas of what it is to rewrite your story of your past, so that you are sculpting that future that you truly want. And I wish you love and well, and I will look forward to talking to you very soon. And all
Yes,
of you guys, seeing you
we'll
back in
see you.
here. Yes, and we'll
We'll
see
see
you.
you in the expanded show.
Yes, expanded understanding, 8 p.m. We'll see you very soon, you guys. Love
Wait,
you. Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Okay, I keep going to the other camera. Okay.
me too. But there's no camera.
Oh, that's funny. You keep going to the other side. I have the one that was once on, and now it's over to this one. Okay. All right.
Okay,
We'll see you
bye.
later. Bye, guys. Awesome.